Okay, so this is the video I'm gonna do on Cynthia G and Jessica X and Shera7. And it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be about everything I feel, but I don't want to come off mean to everyone, okay? Because the reason why is because, um, I have my opinions on mammies, okay? And from my perspective, the way I see it is this. I see. Okay, I'm not going to call everybody a mammy. We won't call everyone a mammy because I think that's too much, honestly. I think it's too much because people don't like me saying it. That every. To me, I'm like, this is how I see it. Like, if I think someone's a mammy, I don't think they're a bad person, by the way. If I say that someone's a mammy, I'm just saying they're a mammy because I'm saying if you're attracted to black men, if you're with black men, then you're in that category to me. Now, does that mean that you're a bad person? No, it's not anything different than me calling myself a swirler. Yeah, there's bad connotations with swirlers and divestors. They always are saying we're bitter and all this stuff. Mammies, people are always saying they're pygmies and all this stuff. Um, from my perspective, the way I see it is, it's just simple. On this channel, they're mammies who are attracted to black men. There are swirlers who are attracted to white men. There are people who are rainbow swirlers too. Those are not mammies, by the way. If they're with a black man, it doesn't mean that they're a mammy completely. Now, that's another thing, and I'm going to make a separate video on that because I call someone a mammy and I sided against them on the premise that they were a mammy. But I learned later that they're really just a rainbow swirler, and I'm gonna do a video on that. I don't really like to do videos like that though in reference of positivity towards that person because I really don't like her. But that's a whole nother video, so just stay tuned to that one. But I'm doing a video basically on Shera7, Jessica X, and Cynthia G. I want to do these three because I feel they all three have commonalities. People would love to say, what do you mean they're similar at all? You would think they're so different. One's a sugar baby, one's more, they call her a pygmy, Jessica X, they call her pygmy. Honestly, like, personally, for me, I have nothing against what people call pygmies. I mean, heck, some people might even call me a pygmy. And honestly, who I watch and follow, I mean, among white YouTubers, um, I don't follow people who are sugar babies or like hypergamous really all that much. So I don't know. To me, I'm not of the type where pick me kind of thing. I'm just of the type I want this specific thing. It's got nothing to do with money. It's got nothing to do with what he wants. Really, it's a matter of what I want, and then if I obviously want him to want me, of course. I don't want any man because to me that's the thing about pygmies is like you're thinking basically I want any man to pick me and I'm like I don't want any man, I just want the man that I want and so forth like that. So I don't know if that counts as pick me or not. I'm more of an independent woman. I'm not even interested in relationships. I love to play more than I love to date anyway. But I do date, you know. And I never date very seriously. I've dated exclusively a couple times, But, you know, yeah, but some people call Jessica X a pick me. And then on top of it, there's the whole other situation with Cynthia G, who people love to try and lump her with the divested situation. just because she's angry at black men because of her whole situation with her pregnancy and that whole situation. Because you can see she became a lot more bitter after her pregnancy. So, I mean, there's a correlation here. It's just there. Um, so to me, from my perspective, is all three women, in my opinion, have similarities, okay? Now there's similarities with Jessica X and Cynthia G. You would think, what the hell are you talking about, right? Well, the reason I'm saying that is this. For example, take my situation. I was on Cynthia G's channel in the past. Last time I was on her channel, I was trying to ask her about the difference between her and sheraseven. And basically, what was the difference between her and sheraseven, and how sheraseven was wrong, or how she was wrong, basically. When I started to talk about my personal relationships, it almost appeared like she assumed that I was talking about black men that were bad relationships. And I think I only talked about one bad relationship. It was the one with Tomato who ended up in jail, but I gave a little. It was a whole thing about getting him out of bail or whatever. It was a traffic ticket or whatever. But, that whole situation, and for me, I mean, it seems like, for me, I was so confused with that situation because I was like, why would someone assume that any bad relationship I was in was with a black man? And, you know, the only person that would have that mindset is if you think that black men are bad generally, or that if you're in a relationship with a black man, or if you're complaining about a bad relationship, that it's with a black man. That if anything's going wrong, it's a black man. That type of mindset that makes you go straight to black men is exactly the same mindset that Cynthia G has in all her videos. She just represents it differently. Cynthia G does it where she's always talking like she hates black men because they did this or that or that and so forth, and showing the pathology in black men. I'm using quotation marks if you could see me. So, I mean, she talks about it like that. Well, Jessica X associates it more with, oh, basically, you know, you chose the wrong black man. But why did you assume that someone chose a black man in the first place? Because you assumed that black men had the propensity to do exactly what Cynthia G was talking about. And the problem with that is that they both have the same mindset. See, often when you hear from mammies, it's either one thing, it's either they've started out young and they're basically apologizing for black men and trying to say, oh, black men, they're basically ready for black men to do something wrong, and then they're going to apologize for it. Now, the other way is Cynthia G. She, I guess, has been longer in her type of community of certain types of black people. This is not specific to black people, by the way. This is specific to a certain kind of black people. But she's used to a certain type of black people. And she's been through certain situations that were not favorable. And she's, at this point, bitter. And So now she just rolls out all the negativities that she's encountered with certain low class black men. And then she basically tries to use this as a way to trash black men, basically. So one is basically, if you look at it, basically one person is thinking black men are doing something, but I gotta apologize for it. The other one is thinking black men are doing something, and I'm gonna point it out, and I'm gonna just show it and show the worst of black men and try to present it as black men. So basically, they're all the same mindset. The only difference is one is going to do a different thing about it than another. One is going to try to be apologetic for it in order to get points back from black men. The other is going to bring it out and try to, use it against black men to destroy black men because they don't like black men. They're not looking to better black men. They're not looking for the best um, outcome for black men. They don't care about black men. They want the worst for black men. That's why she said if she could, she would abort more black male babies, as she's probably already done. You don't know. I mean, when you abort your pregnancy, as she has, you usually don't know the gender of your pregnancy, of your fetus or embryo. I don't know how far along she was. So basically, you know, they just have different perspectives, but they still see black men in the same way. They just take a different approach. That is often the mammy perspective. Because they usually have a perspective of black men basically being lesser. And you find this in many different avenues where they see black men as not as good. And, at best situation, they can, Jessica Edge's channel, I've seen her sometimes, talk about how, black men are, like, acting like black men were the best some black women could get. When you put it that way, it's almost like you're putting black men as if they can't be on higher levels. And to me, from my perspective, I mean, like, as a people, I don't want to see it where black men are, for example, only able to make $50,000 a year. I want to see it as if black men, yes, they can be, the richest 1%, and, they can be very highly educated, Seeing that I am a black woman, if I didn't want that, what kind of fucking fool would I be? Like, seriously, what kind of fucking fool would I be if I really wanted to perceive it like black men could not achieve higher levels? But that's what I mean. The low expectations that mammies always expect from black men is a constant. It happens with Cynthia G. It happens with Jessica X. It consistently happens between the two of them. Then on top of it, I wanted to also correlate the connection between uh, Jessica X, sheraseven, and, Cynthia G. To an extent. They all have the same goal at the end of the day. That's what they do have. They have the goal of trying to get the man they want. Specifically, generally a black man who is of a higher capacity, a higher level, a higher value. On all three specific ways, in different ways. Like I said, Cynthia, she does it by trying to basically put the fire under the feet of black men to say, basically do better. And that's how she tries to do it. That's her way of trying to get attention from black men. Because she feels like she's failed as a woman, she's failed as a mother, she's failed as everything. And she feels like, she's angry at black men because she feels like they weren't able to help her accomplish what she wanted to accomplish, basically. You see, Jessica X does it the opposite way. She basically tries to massage the black man's ego in any possible way she can. And, she tries to basically be on their side in hopes that she could get the best outcome out of that, And, I have nothing against that. That's her way. To me, I don't have anything against anyone getting what they want. Get what you want. That's not my business. By the way, none of this is my goal. Like, I have no interest in being with a black man that is of a higher value. I don't really care. I don't care about money. When I say high value, I'm talking about money. I don't care about money and education. Okay, so I don't want anyone who's got a GED, 8th grade, or a high school diploma. I would prefer someone who has like bachelor's degree. Bachelor's degree is good enough for me. Master's is good too. On my level. But to me, I don't really care about those kinds of things. It's just not me. I just really don't care about that. But, for other people who do, that's them. They have every right to prefer whatever they want to prefer. So, as far as, black men and, how basically, I would say how sheraseven goes about it as well is with the same mentality, basically, to get, the black man that they basically want through, the ideas of sugar baby, you know. To me, honestly, I kind of see it like, well, they all kind of want the same thing, so are they not all hypergamous at the least? Because they all want the same kind of man, you know? I'm pretty sure they could all be attracted to the same man, basically, with basically a higher value black man with, more education, money, things of that nature, and they probably all would want him. So, there's a commonality between them. Their goal and what kind of man they want is the same. They are all attracted to black men, They have a certain mindset with black men. Now, I'm not saying that was sheraseven. Sheraseven, I never felt like sheraseven had any kinds of, I've never really felt anything from sheraseven when it comes to, when it comes to black men. I never really hear her talk about that. She seems to talk, like, one time she was talking about interracial relationships, and I actually kind of agreed with her with what she was talking about. Now, I wouldn't talk about it though, because like it's not pro-divestment, basically. And what she said was not against anyone who divests or someone who is interracially dating. It was specific to her personal experiences, which I related to very much so. But you know, with so many people out there, having such ideas of like they're anti-interracial dating or they're for it, you can't just live your life and just date and have some bad experiences and some good experiences. It's impossible to really talk about what she specifically was talking about there, but you can easily look up what sheraseven says on one of her videos on interracial dating. If you just search it, if it's still up, I don't know if it's still up. I watched it like a year ago. But yeah. I mean, I don't really have anything against sheraseven. I really don't. I'm not a sugar baby. A lot of people thought I was a sugar baby. People always think I look like a sugar baby, one. And then secondarily, people think I'm a sugar baby because I'm young, because I like white men. And it's like, I don't like old men. Oh, God. Ugh. No, that is so gross. No, I do not like what. I don't like old men of any race. Honestly, if you really think of it, um, uh, some people think with, for me personally, with white men, I like them younger than I like other races of men. That's just how it is for me. I think it has to do with my. Well, I won't get into what it has to do with. But yeah, I like very young men. That's just how it is. I always like young men. And I would never be anybody's sugar baby. It would not. I don't think I could perform sexually in any regard with the with a sugar daddy or something like that. But I mean, like, um, what she promotes, I don't have anything against it. I mean, like, in a relationship advice and things like that, I like that. I've always liked her advice and things of that nature. It's very good. And you don't have to use all of it. You could just use a little bit of it and it goes a long way. Like, you use a little bit of it just to be treated right, to find the right partner, things like that. That's cool, just using a little of it is good enough. Now, she's not good for every situation that you're looking for. Like right now, I mostly do not really care what she has to say on my personal life, with dating and stuff, because I'm not into dating right now. Right now, I'm not really into dating right now. Let's just be real. Um, I might be dating someone, but I mean, like, I'm not like exclusively dating anybody right now. I'm just dating just a little bit, like dating, like just for fun, so to speak. I guess you could say. But I don't know. Some people. I'm just not a very monogamous person. Personally, I really am not. I'm just not monogamous. So it takes me a long time to think I'm exclusive. Even if it is, I think, thought that I'm supposed to be exclusive, I'm probably not thinking I'm exclusive until a while. So I don't know. That's just how I am. But like I said, I think I'm a little too immature for for commitment. Honestly, it's just what it is. But yeah, I don't really think anything wrong with what she said in the past, like about black men. Really, from what I've experienced, at least, she's fine. But I was just saying specifically on the hypergamous level that yes, all three have those elements to their platforms. They basically want better. Now, they just go about it different ways on how to get the better man, basically. You know? And from my perspective, it's just like, since I'm not into black men and I don't care about money, those are not my issues. Like, I'm not concerned about those issues that they bring up, really. It's just like, oh, cool, well, that's you, you know? But, I have my own interests, kind of thing. So, that's all I'm saying in this video. I think, yeah, this was long enough. But, yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. Also, I forgot to mention with colorism, I wanted to bring that up with all three of them. But I feel like, well, I'll get into it a bit. Um, with colorism, I feel like all three obviously use their benefit to their advantage with black men. This is the main reason I think that they are still into black men, for that matter. I think they kind of hold out for that. In one case, Cynthia G, like I said, she consistently look at her. I've shown other photos of her and what her ethnicity appears to be. It doesn't look like she has features of a black woman. And she basically tries to accentuate that she doesn't look like a black woman. She probably is mixed with other ethnicities. We don't know. Um, but she definitely uses that to her advantage. This is why when colorism came up in the beginning, she always dodged it. The main reason she dodged it is because she knew she was on the end of benefiting from it. But she didn't want to acknowledge that because it falls in the hands of what some swirlers like to argue, which I don't agree with personally. I do not agree with colorism having anything to do with swirling, but some people claim it and they will use people like her as a good example as why they swirl, which I don't, like I said, I don't agree with that, but that's what they do. Um, and then on top of it, Jessica X, she definitely does that as well. She uses, her, she uses colorism for her benefit, obviously. Um, but I always feel like with her, and I've said it so many times, that, you know, when you entertain men who don't like half of you, you're going to only get half of their love, and they're not going to love the babies that you have with them. So you're setting yourself up for failure. Um, but, she, like I said, goes about it in the way that works for her, or that she's hoping works for her, you know, and, like I said, they're all looking for the best man that's black, basically. Sheraseven on colorism. I've watched some videos that she's talked about colorism, and she is on a similar mindset that I am at, actually, honestly, in the sense of using, what you have to your best ability. That includes her own benefit, you know, in that regard. Which, I mean, like, honestly, I don't see anything wrong with, because the way she goes about it is kind of like to help all women of color, which, you know, everybody has their own specific beauty. And I feel like she kind of like hones in on that side and tries to say, go for what is the best, you know, for you, and what your strengths are, and go basically where you're wanted. So, I mean, I don't like the go where you're wanted part, but I like everything else that she says there. I appreciate Shera7, and if you didn't realize that in this video, she's the only one that I'm subscribed to, so obviously I do have a preference towards her. And I like her advice the most, honestly. Between Jessica X and Cynthia G, I would say I prefer Jessica X. I always have. Then Cynthia G. The reason why I do is because, well, they're both mammies. They both are against black women. But I mean, Cynthia G just seems like she hates every fucking body. But everybody, like seriously, like if you just hate black women, that's not good. But at least you don't hate the whole damn world. Like, I can find a video for Cynthia G where she attacks white men, white women, black women, mixed women. She attacks everybody in her whole history of YouTube. So, I mean, like, and it's not like it was provoked. I could understand if it was provoked. If she was provoked into a race battle or something of that nature with like a Hispanic man or a white man or black woman was attacking her or something like that. Even if a black woman is attacking you, you shouldn't attack black women for being black. That's just stupid, in my opinion. But everything else, it makes sense. If you're defending yourself, you're defending yourself. I have nothing against that. But she would specifically go after people unprovoked of all races. So, I mean, like, I can't say I agree with this lady on anything, really, honestly. I can't.